So do I have like a range of where I can go? Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm Emily Arguello. I am Dr. Alex's wife, and I'm happy that he let me come and do this for you guys. He said that there were some requests to learn more about essential oils, and tonight we're just going to kind of do a basic overview. So if you have any questions, we'll go over those at the end, and maybe we can get more specific as well. But I am an independent distributor with Young Living. It's something that I enjoy to do, something that we've been doing for about 2 years. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about what essential oils are, how to use them, and we're going to talk about the basic essential oils that everybody could benefit from using, and we're also going to talk about Young Living and therapeutic grade oils. All right, so this is us. Everybody has a story of how they started to use essential oils, and I was really skeptical at first. I think for a couple of reasons, and maybe some of you feel the same way. I was overwhelmed. Anybody overwhelmed or just confused about essential oils? So there are so many. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to buy them. There's so many price ranges. You can get a big bottle for $8.88 off of Amazon, or you can pay $103 for one from somebody else. I didn't know how to use them. Also, another reason that I was kind of hesitant to do it is because from what I had heard from people, it didn't really jive with our philosophy on health. It kind of seemed like everybody said essential oils would cure everything from lavender could cure a bruise, it could cure cancer, it could help make your skin look younger, and I was just kind of, I didn't understand all of that stuff. So we're going to address both of those things. One, I hope to make it basic for you tonight, that you don't feel overwhelmed and you kind of have a handle on where to start. And then also kind of how, later I'll talk about how it kind of fits in with our philosophy on health and kind of what you're learning here in the office. But 2 years ago, I got, for Christmas, the starter kit with Young Living. And that was really kind of my first experience with essential oils. Alex is really excited to kind of incorporate them into our health. But like I said, I was a little hesitant. But one of the things that we've kind of done on our journey of becoming more natural is we've had to cut out a lot of things, a lot of toxic chemicals and a lot of things that smell good. So we started having to cut out, come on in, Carrie. Having to cut out things like scented laundry detergent and candles and air fresheners, the fabric softener that goes in your dryer, and those are kind of all the things that give your house a smell. Everybody kind of has a smell, you know, like when my kids come home from grandma's, they smell like grandma's house. Or you get in somebody else's car and you smell like them. Or somebody else holds your baby and the baby comes back smelling like them. So I wondered, what does our house smell like now that nothing in the house has a smell? But whenever I walked in, I kind of felt like it smelled stale, and I didn't like that. So I didn't know what to do, so that's what we thought essential oils would be helpful for. So that was really our first experience, was to use them in the laundry. We put the drops on dryer balls into the dryer, but then also to diffuse it, just to kind of give the house an aroma so that we could have a smell. So that's how we got into it, but it's over the last 2 years, we've learned a whole lot more about them. They've replaced things in our medicine cabinet, kind of standard things that normal people would have in their medicine cabinet. It's also, we've used it for all sorts of things, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit as we go. All right, so let's jump right in. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys a question first. Quickly, if you want to go around, just so I can kind of know who I'm talking to, what is your experience with essential oils? So it could come from nothing at all, I'm just curious about it. I bought a bottle off of Walmart, and I'm kind of using it for this, or you've been using it for a long time. So just your name, or yeah, we'll just raise our hand and go. That's it.
My name's Gina, and I use the lavender essential oil from Dutra.
Okay.
Duterra.
Yeah.
I bought it as a gift set, and I mix it, I blend it with coconut oil, and I use that as lotion.
Okay.
Instead of the store-bought lotion now.
Great.
And I use it for makeup remover.
Yeah.
The lavender and the coconut oil.
Okay.
Lavender. And then I use the lemon oil for in my water. I can use it for ingestion.
Okay, you're giving away all my tips. But I think there'll be some helpful things like that, some practical things that you can use. What about anybody else use essential oils before?
You know mine.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a vegetarian and very natural. She adores her dogs. She won't even give them an animal bone. So she's the one who told me about it. Her dog had a skin cancer spot, she bought frankincense, and she put that on it and it went away. She just put a drop. So I bought some from Emily, because my dog had a little growth, and it shrunk it. Honest to goodness, it shrunk it. She was really old, and we had to put her to sleep before it was totally gone. And then, one more, last weekend, we were at my daughter's, who loves essential oils. My husband had a bad cold. She just put a drop of Breathe. I don't know if this has Breathe. It really, really stopped the coughing and helped him a lot. So that's why I'm here. He told me to get here.
So raise your hand if you've used essential oils before. Okay. Who has never used essential oils? Okay.
But I've heard all about them because my granddaughter knows everything I believe you could possibly know because they're vegetarian and everything. And I don't know if there's much she don't know, but she confuses me.
Okay, so what is an essential oil? Essential oil is a volatile substance derived from plants containing a natural smell and characteristics of a plant. So they're most commonly extracted through steam distillation. So what does the word volatile mean? That means it has an aroma. So even when you go up to smell a rose, there's an aroma that rises into the air. When you open up a bottle of essential oils, aroma rises into the air. That's what the word volatile means. They come from natural substances. They come from plants, shrubs, trees, flowers, and there's other ways of distilling them. That's the most common way that it's extracted out. So when I say that they're potent and versatile, I'm specifically speaking about therapeutic grade oils. So there's a whole gamut array of grades of essential oils, and we'll talk a little bit more about what a therapeutic grade essential oil is, but these are very concentrated and they're very potent. So in one bottle of lemon, it takes 75 lemons to get this amount of oil. It takes 27 square feet of lavender to get one bottle, and it takes 1 pound of raw peppermint leaves to get a bottle of peppermint. So they're very concentrated substances. They're also very versatile. So I have a chemistry word I want you to remember, constituents, because we're going to refer to that in a little bit. There's 200 to 500 constituents in each essential oil. So you know when I was referring to earlier how I was overwhelmed with there were so many different uses? Well, that's why. Each oil is so complex that it can react and it can have a bunch of uses in your body, and every person's different how they react to an oil. Okay, so remember that constituents for a little bit later. History. So essential oils are nothing new. Although they've kind of recirculated and there's some hype about essential oils now, they aren't anything new. If you study ancient history, you can see them in there. You can see references to them in the Bible. A lot of Egypt is kind of known when you look through mummification and stuff, and just how they anointed kings and how they used it in their health. You can see it stringing out throughout history. So they aren't anything new. And actually, when you look at medicine now, most of the medicines have come from, or they've gotten the idea from, a plant of some sort. And really, when we look back through history, we can see that was kind of used as their medicine. It was used kind of as their natural medicine. And that's something that we still kind of see essential oils doing now. So how do you use essential oils? Some of you have mentioned how you've used essential oils before. There are 3 specific ways that you can use essential oils: aromatically, topically, or you can ingest them. So aromatically. The most common way to do that is through a diffuser, diffusing it into the air. I'm going to pass around Citrus Fresh. We're going to try something together. You're going to put a drop on your hand. You're going to rub your hands together and smell. Give you an empty one?
I think so. I'm going to shake it and it's going to go whoosh.
Go with this one in the back. This one has a roller on the top of it. You can just roll a little bit on your hand.
All of a sudden, just
Okay, so let's think about smells. So smells are pretty closely tied to our emotions. So there's a lot of times if you walk into grandma's house or you smell a certain cookie baking or a certain recipe baking, it brings you back to another time. So that's just kind of a significance of how much a smell can actually impact our emotions. So it can give you kind of an uplifting feel just by smelling it. You got it? Okay. So diffusing it is a great way to get it throughout the house. I'll give you a suggestion on how to get a diffuser later. Another way to get the benefits of aromatic diffusion would be putting a couple of drops onto a cotton ball and sticking it into your vents. This could just be in the vents of your house, and then when the heat kicks on or the air conditioning kicks on, then it'll take the scent throughout your home. You can do the same thing in your car. You could put them into like a vaporizer or humidifier would be another way that you could use that. Otherwise, there's all kinds of different diffusers. This one, the pictured one, and the one I'm having is a water diffuser, so it's like a humidifier. It acts as a humidifier as well. So you put water in there, you put a couple of drops of oil, and then it breaks up the oil particles in with the water and takes it throughout the air. One of the things that therapeutic grade essential oils can do, and a special, or some of them, I'll have you smell a couple other ones later, but like the lemon, what we're diffusing right now is Christmas Spirit. This is also an air purifying essential oil, but it actually kills odors in the air. So it's not just masking it like a Febreze or something would, but it's actually killing them in the air. Let's see, there was something else. Topically, most oils are safe to use on your skin. We'll talk a little bit about what to do if you don't know if they're safe to use on the skin or not. All of Young Living's oils on their bottle, it has recommendations to how to use them. It's going to tell you if you need to dilute it with a carrier oil, big word that we'll talk about in a little bit, or not. So topically on your skin, some great things to do with it would be to put it on the bottom of your feet. Essential oils are fat soluble and they can move through the body and the bloodstream quickly. So putting it on the bottom of your feet, it can travel throughout the whole body. Something like a lavender would be great for calming, like before you go to bed, to do it like that. Other areas of the skin, back of the neck, on the wrist if you're using it like a perfume, on your temples for stress relief or headaches. Most oils are safe to use on your skin, but like I said, we'll talk about the ones that may not be in just a moment. Another way you could use it is internally. So did everybody get a chance to try these? We'll pass them around if you haven't, or if you want another one. You can use therapeutic grade essential oils in cooking. Most of them are safe for ingestion. Again, it says on the bottle which ones are and which ones aren't. I put peppermint oil in that. So peppermint oil and lemon oil have now replaced the extracts that we buy in our house. So anytime I'm doing any baking or cooking, we use those instead. They can also, there's some that offer great health benefits, good wellness, good support of your immune system or functioning of your intestines. And you can just take those directly in your mouth, or you can put them in capsules. Young Living and Amazon and Greatest Grains all sell empty capsules that you can just open up and you can add a drop or two in there if you didn't want to swallow them. But adding them to tea is a good thing too. If you have a sore throat, adding a little raw honey and lemon oil to some hot water to make your own tea. Oh, I never finished this slide. Okay, so other things you need to know. One of them was the patch test. Some of the oils are safe to use on your skin and some aren't. Some that you would want to dilute would be peppermint and oregano. We call them hot oils. So how you would check to see if you are interacting with an oil, and even so if you're pregnant, this might be, you might want to retest yourself to make sure you're not going to react to an oil. You'd add a drop or two on your forearm, and this is a good place to do a test to see if it's a hot oil, if your body's going to react to it. Within 5 to 10 minutes, if you don't experience any sensation, then you're fine. You can use it topically on your skin wherever. If it feels hot, don't worry, it's not burning your skin, but if it feels like that, you would just want to add a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil, something that I'm going to term in a moment as a carrier oil, to dilute that. And then that's how you'd want to put it on the rest of your body, to use that oil further. So some people, when I first started using peppermint, I needed to dilute it. I don't need to anymore. My body's kind of become accustomed to it. But some of the oils I do when I put them on my kids, I do dilute them as well. Not all of them. Gentle oils would be lavender, frankincense, lemon, and tea tree. There was something else that we were talking about here. We talked about kids, we talked about pregnancy, diluting it. Maybe that was it. If there's something else, I'll come back to it. So let's talk about a minute about Young Living and why we decided to use that brand. So Young Living has been around for 22 years. They have done a lot of work in kind of perfecting and working through their process. I mentioned earlier that there are many different grades of essential oils. This would be considered a therapeutic grade. So meaning that it's most of them are safe to ingest, to apply topically, and to use aromatically. And they're also potent enough to have therapeutic benefits as well. They have something called their seed to seal production process. So meaning that they're each step of the process, they're under quality control. Seeds, they're starting out with good seeds, not genetically modified seeds. Cultivation, they use organic type practices. I just heard a story today about somebody that went and visited this lavender farm, and they actually got to help pull weeds because they don't use any chemicals. They have people that come in and they hand pull the weeds. There's also, they've also spent, Rebecca, do we have any water? I think Alex might have something there. They've also spent time studying the best times to harvest the plants, whether it's at night, it's in the morning, if they should cut them and leave them sit for a little bit, how fast do they need to get to the distilling, so that those, remember that word I told you to remember earlier, constituents, the more constituents that we can preserve, the more potent the oil is going to be. So they've really spent a lot of time doing that, distilling it. They distill on site. They test every batch that they make. They also send it away for third-party testing just to make sure that it can meet their quality of standards to remain a therapeutic grade oil. And then they have a sealing process and a shipping process to make sure it gets to your door safely.
Where is it made?
They have, I took out that slide, and they have farms all over the country. So different oils are, did you have stuff, Bonnie? So obviously the oils come from different plants, shrubs, flowers that grow in different parts of the world. So they have a couple in the United States. The lavender one, I believe, is in Utah. There's one up in Canada. Frankincense is over in the Middle East. That's where it comes from. If I remember correctly, Young Living owns 6 different farms. And then they also have like partner farms that grow their products that undergo a lot of testing just to make sure that they meet their requirements. So all over. Which kind of makes sense when we think about the wide array of essential oils. They can't all grow in the United States, in our climate.
If they did, they'd probably be genetically modified.
They would probably have to be.
Is frankincense a plant?
It's a tree.
It's
So
a tree?
yeah,
Oh,
this is really cool. I didn't think I had time to share this, but I'm going to share it anyway. So frankincense is a tree, and to get the oil out, they have to put this tree into stress. So they cut a branch off, or they cut some of the bark off, maybe it's called. And then from that, a resin gets produced, like kind of forms in that area. And then the frankincense oil is from the resin. So the resin is taken and then is steam distilled. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, that's how it comes from a tree. But it's actually from a resin, it's called. They have, they recently came out with this promise to families. They know many of the people that are starting to come and use essential oils are because they're staying away from chemicals. So we want to make sure that you know that these are pure. A lot of the essential oils that you would buy are filled with fragrances, perfumes, other additives, that they're not nearly as strong and could potentially be damaging to your health, especially if you ingest something like that. So say you have a different, an 888 huge bottle of essential oils from Amazon. Maybe using it in your dryer, like onto your dryer balls to give that a scent would be a way that you can use it, but I wouldn't use it in any other form it wouldn't give you the health benefits.
Does it say it says on the bottle food grade or something?
you want therapeutic grade is the word you want to look
Therapeutic,
for. Yeah. Food grade just means that it's safe enough to ingest, but generally that just means for a flavoring, and it could just be synthetic.
Okay.
Synthetic meat product.
Therapeutic.
Therapeutic. Okay, so everybody came in here kind of with a different idea of what you wanted from essential oils. Some of you maybe came in, you knew what they were. I want to be all in. I wanted the benefits of essential oils in my health, in my home, for my family. And so a starter kit would be what you want to go with. This is what we started with. This is how we knew we wanted to get going with essential oils, and this is really the best value. Others of you came in saying, I want to know a little bit about essential oils. I want to just kind of see how they work in my life. We have mini little kits. To start with, this comes with thieves, lavender, and peppermint, and these are 3 of the oils that I will talk about tonight. These are very versatile oils, common ones that everybody can incorporate in their daily life, and this would just be a way just to kind of test them out.
How much is that one?
How much is this? I'll have to look it up exactly. It's around $43. Others of you are coming in for a specific reason. You maybe want an essential oil to use it as a perfume. Maybe you want something for your home to give it a healthy, fresh, clean smell. Some of you may want it to boost your immune system or for cleaning. I've kind of designated some oils into different categories there. If you're coming in with something that you want an essential oil to replace a product for or to fill an area of your life, let me know. I can recommend one essential oil. And then I would recommend just learning more about that one and adding to your collection as you go. Another, this overwhelms me, even just 10 or 11 oils, and then right now for November they're doing a special. They're giving you a free Christmas spirit is what you smell right now when you order a kit. But still, that's kind of overwhelming. Somebody gave me a tip and said start with 1 oil a week. In here you're going to get educational materials on how to use it, but then look up other ways to use it and just kind of learn about that oil and then move on the next week to another oil. So you're just kind of slowly working your way through it as opposed to jumping in and being like, what the heck do I do with all of these things? Another thing that I want to preface before we move on to talking about specific oils is this is just a basic introduction. Some of you, I believe, okay, a little pre-frame. The FDA has really regulated what Young Living can say that essential oils do. So what is on the slideshow is what is FDA compliant and tells you about what essential oils can do. If something accidentally spills out of my mouth, in addition to that, that's something that Alex and I have spent time researching and we believe would be helpful for you guys to know. If you want to know specifically, you really want to dive into how medicinally or how essential oils could support your health, I would recommend a reference guide. This thing has been very helpful for us. There's also an app on your phone. I think that is $6.99. I have it written down. What the app is just kind of a reference guide that would help you know how to use your essential oils. All right, so there are 5 basic oils, and I'm going to talk about a couple more just because I like them, but 5 basic oils that everybody could benefit from in their life. So I'll pass it around so you can smell it as I'm talking about it. Lavender has kind of been known for calming your body down, calming you down emotionally, even calming your skin down. Lavender is great for the skin, so it's a nice calming scent, a great thing to diffuse before bedtime. I sometimes will put it on the bottom of my kids' feet to help them sleep. Again, this is one of the gentle oils that you should not need to dilute unless you're hypersensitive and you'd want to do a patch test first to check that. But adding to a bath, it can also be something you diffuse for fresh, clean scent and to eliminate odors. It'd be a good thing that you could add to shampoos. I think I forgot my other list of stuff.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If you have trouble with fragrances, like fragrance soaps and that would be an issue?
No. I'm very sensitive to fragrances. If I walk into somebody's house that's burning a candle or has one of those Glade plugins in the wall, I like immediately get a headache.
Because I have to use like fragrance-free soaps.
Yeah. Yeah, so remember this is a pure oil extracted from a plant. So there's no fragrances added into it. Yeah.
Does it tend to dissipate fast when it's in the shampoo or something like that? I mean, the smell from.
Like if you were gonna add it into your shampoo?
Yeah, like if you.
I would do it immediately as you're doing it. If you're putting some in your hand, I would add a drop of lavender right before you do it. I wouldn't put it all into the bottle.
Oh.
Or maybe make a small batch for like a week's worth at a time.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't do all that.
Make it fresh.
All right, I know I had some good stuff in my notes. Let me look through and see. But lavender is a pretty common smell. Have you guys smelled, as you've passed that around before, have you had that in other products? Yeah. So lavender is also kind of called the Swiss Army knife of essential oils, and this is where other stuff might spill out of my mouth. But it's great for burns or for cuts or for rashes. Really good for anything on the skin. If you have, I mentioned earlier, it's a calming effect for the skin. It's something that we would use in like in our medicine cabinet. When the kid's got a scratch or a burn, what's something that we would add to it? Something like that, and a little bit more of an opened wound. I'd probably add a little coconut oil too, just because to get the benefits of the coconut oil, and it's just a little easier application in that way. You could also use, we make a lot of our own personal care products, and I know, I think a lot of you guys have gotten those recipes as well, making our own deodorant or lotion. You could add this to some shea butter or into if you make your homemade deodorant or toothpaste. Lavender would be a good thing. Next is peppermint. Peppermint is great to help support a healthy digestive system. You could add this to water. It's also a good energy boost. It's a great thing to put on before exercise, maybe just a little bit on your chest or your back of your neck. Great pre-workout addition.
Would that work for like acid reflux? You said with peppermint oil and water to drink it?
Yeah.
Would that be?
For something like that, I would maybe do hot water. Do warm water. Yeah, like a tea. Adding a drop of that in, as opposed to if you're doing it like for energy boost or for exercise. I would just do room temperature cold water. Yeah. You could mix it with lemon and peppermint oil to do as like a mouthwash. It's also a good breath freshener. All right, lemon. So you see a lot of these say Vitality. I have a couple of Vitality ones. The difference is here is Young Living has spent a lot of time making these. The Vitality means that it's an ingestible oil. So whether you get regular lavender or Vitality lavender, it's the same thing, but they've spent more time on their bottling and on their researching process to show us exactly how to use it. So Vitality or just the regular is interchangeably. Lemon is a good flavor enhancer. It has I was going to pass these around, wasn't I? We've already done lavender, or lemon. Here's peppermint.
There.
There we go.
Thank you.
I
would read it.
Lemon is a very fresh, clean smell. It's a great thing to clean with. You could add some lemon in water, and so you dilute it a little bit into a glass water bottle. I think I got this for like $1.30 at Greatest Grains. My guess is other places have it as well. But use it as like a disinfectant for your counters. Spray it on your counters. You could use it if you wanted to mop your floors, add a couple of drops in the water when you mop your floor, just to kind of give a fresh, clean smell. Great thing to diffuse as well, or to use on the cotton ball. There's a lot of times in the bathroom. I don't have a diffuser in the bathroom, and I have 5 boys, and we put it in the bathroom to help eliminate the pee smell that is always there. Also adding, I think I mentioned this earlier, adding it with some honey to some warm water to help soothe your throat. You could also use something like this to wash your fruits and vegetables when they come home from the store. That's also good for your respiratory system. So lemon is really, lemon is one of the less expensive oils. So knowing that takes 75 oils 75 lemons into one of those bottles of lemon oil, then, and the shelf life of that is much longer than if you were to buy like the squeezed lemon from the store, like to add to your water or something. So it lasts a lot longer. Frankincense. Who's heard of frankincense before? Anybody know anything about it?
Cindy loves it.
It's a tree. It's a tree.
It's a tree.
They told us that.
I knew that, I know that's what they brought.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay, so frankincense has an earthy, balsamic scent. There you go. It's in the Bible. They gave it to Jesus, right? Amen. So I actually heard something about that today. And a friend had told me about this, that she had read it, that she was, as soon as her baby was going to be born, she was going to put frankincense down their spine. And one of the reasons that I'm hearing is, I knew this, it's a great immune boosting oil. Okay, so maybe baby Jesus needed that or something. But it's also great for the nervous system. So any type of, again, stuff spilling out of my mouth, if there's any type of neurological thing you want to support, we all want a healthy nervous system. Using frankincense on the back of your neck, especially by your brainstem, is a great thing to do. It's good to help with focus, brain inflammation. It can also help reduce that, kind of get your brain functioning better if you tend to be really forgetful or absent-minded. People say that this can help with that. Again, this is a very gentle oil, so it's safe to use without diluting. And it's the key ingredient in most all of Young Living's personal care products, meaning it's really good for your skin. They kind of also phrase it as the anti-aging oil. Frankincense has been proven in research to kill cancer cells too, in medical research.
You know, my great-granddaughter had cancer and they put it up her spine every night.
Yeah. So if you want, I would encourage you to, if that's something that is interesting to you, to research that more. One other thing I forgot to mention about peppermint oil, there's been over 1,000 studies on PubMed, in the medical research, that peppermint is more effective for getting rid of headaches than like an aspirin.
Do you use this in food in any way?
Frankincense? I have not used it in food. No. Frankincense is a very pricey oil. Frankincense, a bottle of frankincense is over $100. I've had mine for over a year. We use it. One drop goes a long way. Yeah, you're holding a $100 bottle right there. Yeah.
Just a drop at a time.
1 to 2 drops really goes a long way. Yeah.
What do you use it for?
I put it on the kids almost every morning before they go to school. I think just to kind of help support their nervous system. I just learned today that it kind of helps with if you're forgetful or memory loss, and I feel like I have that, like that whole pregnancy brain thing, I feel like I still have. I'm going to start using it daily. I use it as on my skin, so I just put a drop with a little bit of coconut oil as like a moisturizer after I wash my face. Those are kind of the main ways we use it. We haven't encountered any major healing thing yet that we've had to try to use it for that.
Can babies have it?
Yeah, very safe for babies. Yeah, I have a friend that.
Or just pure, just do you mix it with anything?
You don't have to. Nope, it's gentle enough to. Like I said, I have a friend that's due in a couple months, and she said she's going to put it down the baby's spine right away. This was one I was reading specifically about pregnancy and nursing, and this was one that people say they take to the hospital with them. That it's safe to use during and on baby. Yeah. All right, so Thieves is kind of Young Living's major oil. It's kind of their claim to fame. At least that's how I kind of realized it when I first started learning about Young Living. This kind of, it has a unique story about it, but they actually have been proving that it does help support a healthy immune system. It can be used externally, it can be diffused, it can be used internally. It can have, it's antimicrobial, antibacterial. It smells. It smells great. It's kind of got, to me, it smells like a fall smell. It's very cinnamony. You could add it to beverages. You could drop it right in your mouth to help boost your immune system.
That's what it is.
It does have clove.
Yeah.
in it, so that's kind of the clove is the potent thing. Yeah, so you could put it in, oopsies, I did that. Thank you. This, there's a whole line, Young Living has a whole line of thieves cleaning. So they kind of have taken it out of you having to make your own cleaning items. But you can make your own. You could add this into water, into a spray bottle like that, and you can use it as a disinfectant anytime you would use a Lysol, like to spray off the toilets or the door handles. Or after a kid's been sick, spraying it in that area. We use it mainly topically on the kids. If they're ever going to be around somebody that is sick, or we think that they might be starting to get sick, or they are sick, we add that just to help kind of boost their immune system. I'm gonna there's one more or two more I think I'm gonna talk about. So tea tree, this would be another one. If I was gonna say to replace your medicine cabinet, things to have in your home for your health and just to help clean or purify your home, the things would be, like we talked about, lemon, lavender, thieves, peppermint, frankincense, and tea tree oil. So tea tree oil is also an antimicrobial oil. For you. It's also, I think many of you may have heard of it like for dandruff or to support skin. It's great for your skin, for any type of healing. For dandruff as well, you could just add a drop onto your shampoo like we were talking about before. Using it as, putting it on your skin with coconut oil as like a lotion or a moisturizer. It does have a very clean smell, I think, to it too. It's a great thing to diffuse. It can kill mold and other bacteria and things in the house. Yeah.
Amanda Dean has a question on Facebook about thieves oil. Does it have to be diluted to be used directly on the skin, or can it not be used directly
I
on
would
the skin?
suggest, I have not ever diluted it. I would suggest doing a test though, just because it does have some of the oils that go into making that blend could be hot oils. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest doing a test on your arm. Again, if you don't remember what that was, it's just adding a drop onto your forearm right here, waiting 5 to 10 minutes. If it feels hot, then you would want to dilute it. I was going to go back. All right, I'm going to talk about my 2 favorite oils outside of those, and then we'll answer questions, okay? There's a lot more, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Purification. So this has been my favorite oil since the day that I opened my kit. I'm hoping that this is the scent that comes from my house, because I would say this is the bottles I have gone through the most and what I diffuse the most. Like it says, it can eliminate and freshen odors in the house. It actually can kill odors that are in the air. You can also use this this is the FDA's way that we need to phrase it, that you could use it as a bug spray. So this is actually, this one right here is actually my water and about 20 drops of purification in here. And this is what we used as a bug spray all summer. It's also a good thing to put on bites. Purification would be a good thing to put on if you've gotten a bug bite or, I don't have any animals, so I've never used it with animals before. But yeah, I think that I just like it because it's kind of a fresh, clean smell, and I hate the smell of bacon. So if there's ever bacon cooking in my house, that is being diffused at the exact same time to try to eliminate that odor. The other thing that I really like is RC. I have a whole bunch of lids here, and I have no idea what the lids are for. I think I like this the most because this is what we put on the kids if they're ever having any type of respiratory or congestion. So that's pretty common in the next couple of months, even with healthy kids. Again, getting sick is an okay thing. We don't freak out when our kids get sick. We want their immune systems to get stronger. We want them to be able to learn how to fight these things now, and we want to support their bodies to be able to do that well. So essential oils aren't like a medication or a Tylenol where it's just suppressing your fever and making you think that you're better, and it's not. But essential oils can just really help support and encourage healing. So RC is one that we rub. We would use like a Vicks, and we would rub it on their chest, maybe on the back of their lungs. Doing it before bedtime, also kind of diffusing it. This would help with any type of respiratory. It has 3 different blends of eucalyptus in it. So if you've heard of eucalyptus before, for respiratory support, that's a great thing. So those are 2 of my favorites that we didn't talk about as should be the common ones. These are all oils that you would get in the kit. Can't remember what else I have on here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. So say you're interested in essential oils. We could do something like this in your home if you ever want to learn more about it. If you ever just want to chat more, you've kind of gone through the basics, you want to learn more about what it does, I would definitely recommend a resource reference guide. Young Living has 2 different ways that you can purchase from them. You can purchase one just as a retail customer. You can do that and have it shipped to your door. You can do that through me and I can deliver it to you, or you can pick it up from me and you just pay a regular price. That's just how you get started. You pick the oils that you want. Another one would be to become a wholesale member. This is where you sign up as a member with them and you have the opportunity to purchase that kit that I showed you earlier, which comes with a diffuser. It comes with 11 different oils, all of the ones that we talked about tonight, plus some more. And also for the month, it comes with Christmas Spirit, what you're smelling now. You get a bunch of free samples. You get to order at 24% off at any time. And it comes with a roller filament. I know some of you saw that lemon with the roller that you could stick on top. I always have those available too if you want to purchase from me, just for easier application, so you don't have to put it on your hands and then to put it on. You also have opportunities to, business opportunities to make some extra income or to earn free products. If you do decide to become a member, it is good for you only have to make 1 purchase in a year to keep your membership, one $50 purchase. Otherwise, there's great incentives for auto ship orders as well if you think that's going to be a regular part. Yeah, so that's all I have for you tonight. I will take questions. I do have some oils here that you can purchase tonight. I am placing an order tomorrow if there's something specific that I don't have that you want, or if you would want to get signed up for a kit, I can help you with that as well. So are there questions that we have?
I have a question. I know we've had some patients ask this before. Are there any oils specifically for muscles to relax muscle tension or back pain or something like that?
There's something called Panaway. And I don't have it. I don't have it here tonight for you to smell, but it's awesome. It really is awesome. It's a great thing to put on for sore muscles. Something that you could dilute. Young Living also has like a cream, a deep relief cream that has oils that are in Panaway in it as well. So that would be one. Lavender is also a muscle relaxer that we could put on that to help soothe muscles as well. Again, there may be more. I can look it up in my handy dandy reference when we're done to see if there's other like more common ones that you can use for it. Good. But this is kind of this is the one that has been the most popular with Young Living.
Do you use like distilled water in your diffuser?
This one. So each diffuser is different. This one does use distilled water. The one that we currently have in the office, it calls for tap water. I don't know why, but it calls for tap water. There's also diffusers that you can diffuse directly from an oil bottle that don't need water. So like this is kind of like a humidifier. That one just you strap on the essential oil bottle and then it's just pure essential oil throughout the year. But just follow the the directions on whatever diffuser you have. Okay.
So how do you keep the oils like safe from like your kids getting to them and stuff? Because I know that isn't there like some safety things with oils like you don't want them. Well, I guess these are therapeutic grade though, but
Yeah, well you wouldn't want want them to ingest mass doses of it or anything. So I don't know, we keep them in our kitchen. We keep them up in the cupboard. They're kind of out of their reach. There are times like most mornings when we're rushing and I say put the oil on yourself and they grab it and they put it on and I feel comfortable with them doing it. Yeah, the oils are safe. You would never want to put them in your ear. Obviously you want to try to keep it away from your eyes. If you did want to use something for an ear infection, you'd want to put it on a cotton ball and then stick the cotton ball in your ear. You don't want to put it on any mucous membranes, but if you would ever to get it in your eye, don't use water, use like a carrier oil, so something like I never did talk about that, what a carrier oil could be. It could be coconut oil is our most common one, just because we always have coconut oil in the house. You could also use avocado oil, olive oil, almond oil. But yeah, so we just keep them in the kitchen to actually answer your question. Or if I have multiple bottles, they're spread around the house, but usually out of the little one's reach at least.
Emily, Amanda has another question on Facebook.
Hi,
How
Amanda.
much is it to sign up as a wholesale member?
It's $160 for the kit.
Okay.
And in that you got everything I just kind of explained. I believe it said it was a $300 value. So that's really the best way if you know you want to get essential oils into your life is to start. With the size of our family and the way that we use them on a daily basis, I didn't have to reorder, I think, for about 4 months. That lasted me. I have friends that have for 2 years and still have their kits because they kind of use them sparingly. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. If you have a specific question or you want to look at this, look something up, just let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Tara has somebody that helps start Tara.
Thanks for your help, Rebecca.
That's just the holiday guide. If you want the full catalog.
Showing up online is all fun and games, but you missed out on the treats.
The kit, which oils are they?
Essential oils, right? That was